Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas, Winter's Bite you. Yep, that is the goal. I actually don't think we're playing Winter's Bite though, which is a shame. I guess Blizzard is like kind of like Winter's Bite though. Similar. I guess we give our opponents Frostbite either way, right? All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let me actually make sure I'm like logged into Talasha real quick. Welcome to the stream, everyone. How's everyone doing? I think it's been a while since our last stream, since we've been busy. We've been doing like calling stuff, lots of fun videos. I think we're. Oh, all right, let's go ahead and find a game. I'll do a deck tech after our first game, but let's see how the first one. But yeah, we're doing like a pretty standard like fatigue Jarl. I think this is like pretty similar to one of Rob's old lists. I think I modified it like slightly. Just kind of like rearranging some of the sideboard cards, but I think the main deck is like pretty much the exact same, if not like very similar. All right, let me go ahead and pull up chat. Go. All right, playing against a Kassai. Ooh, this is a fun one. Okay, Kassai. Want the Blizzard, want the two staunches, no amulet. Rampart. This all looks good. See if they stick around. But I actually did get some pretty good practice into Kassai actually a little bit early. All right, they're gonna have us going first. All right, not actually a terrible opener. You're just imposing. I don't really want to Arsenal the Remembrance just yet. I also don't really want to Arsenal the Midas Touch all that much. All right, let's see. Oh, GLHF. Okay, let's go ahead. You are just like overpitching this hand. Think we want to hold on to Remembrance this early? Oh, you hate Jarl? Oh no. All right, well this should be a fun one then. Let's go ahead and get greens out of the way. And I think we're just getting our little 4 value in. No Mangle. Yeah, no Mangle. We're doing like more like fatigue Jarl stuff, and I think Mangle is like interesting, but like the value proposition is generally kind of bad. Just having like use your tunic counter on an attack feels pretty bad in this deck. But yeah, I feel like a lot of actually more recent. Actually, let me take a look at some of the deck lists on like Fab TCG. I'm kind of curious actually. Fab TCG deck lists. Let's take a look actually, because I feel like the most recent Jarl list I've seen has also not been on Mangle. Let me actually double check this. Where is it? All right, let's get back to the game for a second. All right, Centauri coming in. All right, they are in Raise an Army, which notably they should always be on. Oh, well, those the opponents looking at our sleeves right now. That's very funny. All right, sure. Let's go and give them Terra Center in case they go for like a Blood Falls Blade or something. Oh, you like the hat? Thank you. I did it like right before the stream, so I figured it would be I figured it would be kind of annoying. All right, instant swim. Okay, not too bad.
So I just noticed that you put a PNG ad on you.
What? I'm trying to be festive here.
Oh, that's so funny.
Tegan hates Christmas.
I'm a Scrooge.
Yeah, Tegan's a Scrooge.
I got Scrooge money.
I think I'm actually gonna go for the Cornet Peak here just to play around. Like, I want to hold the CNC and Arsenal. It's actually like really good to Cornet Peak this high every turn if you can. But I want to hold on to the CNC for when they have an Arsenal, ideally. But in the meantime, while our opponent's deciding, let me actually take a look. Let's search like Jarl. Battlehard's. Let's take a look at this one. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Ooh, this is on bar. Okay, so this is like definitely more Petite Jarl. Oh, but they're on like root bounds and stuff, which I guess this deck kind of changes pretty significantly. Yeah. I feel like Earth Jarl is like kind of dead, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. I feel like that was like the most fun version of Jarl, at least to me. But it like kind of makes sense, I guess. I don't know. Like the Earth cards are kind of just too good. Ooh, a Taya. Okay. It's not that bad actually. All right. Tie activation. We should be able to block this semi-easily. But I think I'm actually going to pay into the Rampart here. Or no. Okay, so what we do is we do... It's really awkward. the card I want to block with. Maybe we're still just like doing this anyways, though. I guess it depends what they have. I feel like I'm still supposed to shelter regardless. Yeah, let's shelter anyway, I guess. And we can still like rampart with the floating resource. It's not even that bad. Yeah, they do have the Blade Flurry. I guess the question is, do they have to go again now? They could have a what's that card called? They could have a like glint or something here, which I guess would make sense. Interesting. Okay, there's the glint. So I guess we played around the glint. Kind of funny. Let's go ahead and shelter react. I guess we're gonna give them their first goal, but it's not the end of the world. I feel like maybe the better, was there a better block? I guess we could also quick dodge here if we wanted to. It's only defense reaction cards, right? I think it's actually like kind of an okay quick dodge. Very, very fun, but not for them. Oh no. Did the Jarl have a bad time? Tell me about your Jarl story.
Just played Jarl.
Oh, you played Jarl. Oh, you were the Jarl. Okay, okay. Oh, gotcha. Oh, you had fun. Okay, that's good. I'm glad you had fun. That's what's important. Go ahead and just quick dodge this again. Seems good. It's a little bit of like an early use of our quick dodge, but I'd rather deny the early golds than let it like get out of control. What was this? So let's actually take a look. So this was on the list I was thinking of. I think was like a little bit earlier. Let me search Jarl again. This is Singapore. We can take a look at the Singapore one. Okay, so this is more of like a fatigue Jarl. Let's take a look at this one. Steadfast. Okay, this one's on like 2 mangles. Okay, so like maybe mangle's not like totally unreasonable. Ooh, 1 gravekeeping. Okay. Oh, whoops, sorry. We should have quick dodge there. But yeah, maybe like a 1 or like a 3 of mangle package is actually like semi-reasonable. It's probably not terrible. What else was this list running? This is like a pretty similar list to I guess what I'm running. I actually try this. Yeah, this is like pretty similar. We have 1 righteous. I don't think righteous cleansing is like all that good of a card. Steadfast is interesting. I guess the steadfast is maybe over. Oh no, they are on 3 oasis as well. Interesting. All right, triple oasis. All right, this person's cooking. Yeah, this is like basically the same equipment setup, but the ratios here are like slightly. I might actually give this list a try later on. We'll see. All right, pitch and a slice and dice seems good. But yeah, Rob was telling me about, I guess, like the value of, I think like the last time we played Jarl on stream, Rob was telling me about kind of like the value of just like cornet picking. A lot of these like warrior decks are more like kind of like buff centric decks. Oh, you had 3 Insidious Chills on the board plus Lake Frigid up most of the game. Oh, yuck. Nasty. That's pretty sick. I think we're gonna sandbag the Fate here in case they have some way to pump. So let's give them the CLF here and then maybe just pay into Rampart. I don't really have a ton better to do with our resources right now. I also just use our tunic counter here. I think that's probably reasonable. They go for a pump or something, then we'll deny the copper as well. Try to deny all the money. My hat even like lined up. It's like kind of lined up. Hold on.
It's like on the very tip. You need to push it down a little.
Is that better? My hat lined up better now?
I'll see you in about 20 seconds.
I think it's better.
That's better.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I wouldn't want people to think my hat was falling off. Let's give him the macho. I actually kind of like giving the macho here just so like we have an excuse to get the attacks out of the way early. Saving non-attacks in the deck for the late game is a lot better. Yeah, we might actually give this list a try. I'm kind of curious. The -1 fate thing is kind of interesting. I guess it kind of like, So the interesting thing about like Oasis, especially into like a lot of decks right now, like Marionette's probably like the best example, right? Is like blocking like a Calyssera feels like fucking terrible. So like having prevention effects is like kind of nice. Okay, we're gonna go for the draw swords. But I've been a big fan of Oasis. I actually might try to like restructure the deck a little bit. Is this list on no staunch as well? Oh yeah, no staunch either. Maybe there is some decent amount of room for some other stuff. Centauri coming in. This is the most efficient way to block here. Probably here, Oasis. They drew a card this turn, so the next thing is free. Not really threatening anything yet either. I guess we're not really scared of a ton. We are scared of, I guess, Provoke, but they don't have the resources for it. Blade Flurry, interesting. So we could actually pulse this now. I don't think that's good, though. Go ahead and just Oasis. Block the left saber. So we'll make a little bit of damage here, but we get to keep Coronet peeking them, which is nice. That seems fine. Little bit of damage is a treat. Again, they haven't really gotten a ton of yellows in the bin yet. So we're not doing too bad. Again, we just want this game to go out as slow as possible, and we're doing fine on fatigue right now. Yeah, that's actually kind of an interesting thing to try, is maybe like I bring in the one extra Oasis plus a Steadfast instead of the 2 Staunch that I think are on my board right now. This is the current list. I was thinking about Staunch, and like I feel like this is maybe like the best of like a bunch of bad options, but maybe like Oasis plus another like prevention effect is actually like a little bit stronger. It's interesting. Oh, let me check the okay. Does Jarl have a place apart from fatigue? I'm a casual player, so it's just not fun for me. Yeah, I mean, like that's like the main issue with the like Jarl right now, which I'm hoping that Pen will do a little bit to address. Is that like currently there's not really much incentive to like play any of like the Ice Earth cards or like do any fun stuff with Jarl. It's more so just like you're just kind of like this deterministic like fatigue engine basically, and that's kind of like the entire deck. And like there are some like there's more like aggro variants of Jarl, which are like a little bit nicer, but like in general, the issue with those lists is that hoping they keep an arsenal here. The issue with those lists is generally that like they like other decks kind of do the disruption thing better. Like if you compare like Marionette's disruption to like Jarl's disruption, right? Like you basically have like super telegraphed, easy to block disruption versus like this very like I don't know when the disruption is actually coming, like that kind of thing. So it's like it's almost like Jarl just like kind of does it worse, which is awkward. Let's go ahead and send these CNC here because they did keep an arsenal now. But yeah, like right now, Jarl doesn't really seem to have like a really great place outside of fatigue. It's more so just like it feels like it's like the strongest thing you can be doing with a very limited card pool, basically. Could try suspense counter Jarl and swing 20. That's also like interesting, but like I feel like other decks do that better, like Lyeth, for instance. Oh, we got a D-React on this. I feel like Lyeth does that better, or like Pleiades or some like I feel like it's just not conducive to like Jarl's game plan very much. I put off buying generics yet because I'm trying to decide what hero to land on. Really picked up Jarl for these deck, but love a mid-range disruption heavy deck. So like based on that comment, it seems to me like what you would actually like is like Slippy or like Marionette, because those are like more kind of like mid-range. Like Jarl could actually end up being mid-range depending on like the support that they release in like the new set for him. It's like a little bit too early to tell, right? Like this kind of just like pre like the new set kind of thing. So like maybe Jarl actually like ends up here. So how much is coming in? Okay, that's a lot. We got Sigil. Okay, so I don't. Interesting. Yeah, Marionette might actually be a pretty good option for you. Let's go ahead and Blizzard this, I guess. I guess it just stops the go again, so they can't swing on the next one. I do want to like try to limit the copper as much as possible here. So losing go again, that's nice. Coming in for 10. How do we block 10? Be like here, here, here. Yeah, I guess this works, right? Yeah, let's do it. It seems like a little bit awkward because we're not going to be coronet peeking next turn, but I think this is actually fun. Stopping copper is like the second most important thing when if you also like take into account like stopping gold. We're also keeping them off yellows pretty well. Like they only have one yellow in the bin right now, so should be fine. Yeah, I'm curious to see like all the new cards from Compendium. I think that set's gonna actually be pretty good for the game. Tips for beating Prism, even on not on Jarl, I struggle. Yeah, that deck is like very, very hard for I think like especially like newer players to deal with. Like the biggest thing is just kind of kill them. Like it sounds reductive, but one of the I guess better ways to prevent Prism from like doing anything is to like just make sure she's not alive. Like dealing damage to Prism, very, very good. But yeah, Prism is definitely like a pretty difficult deck to deal with sometimes. Okay, they got the Blade Flurry here, so we're not going to be able to stop this copper, which is fine. Not the end of the world though. We'll give them 2 copper here. And oh, actually, I've reacted here. Actually, hold on. I think I'm not supposed to react here. I think I'm supposed to take the 6. They take 6 here, and then we block. Okay, yeah. Sense. Because we can't stop the copper here. So we should just try to block out this second one here, I think, which is coming in. Or, yeah. Right, nice thing is we do get to pad our life total a little bit with the sigils, though. Bottom the visage. But yeah, I'd say like your game plan for like beating Prism very heavily depends on like who you're playing as. Like I feel like for most decks the answer is to just like kill her before she sets up. But there are some decks where like Jarl, for instance, if you're like a more defensive deck, just kill her is not like necessarily a viable option. I may just pick up stuff for Mario. I just love the mid range and lots of interaction in this game, but wasn't sure if it was just full red line. So Marionette's kind of interesting because I don't think it's like a full red line deck. At least it's like pretty like it's pretty close to red line, but they do often like pitch sometimes. So I'd say it's more like mid rangey than like a full red line. But I think like the best like Marionette hands tend to be like pretty much red line. So like if you do like dagger buff, a bunch of like red reactions, like it is basically kind of red line. But yeah, I don't know. Like if you're looking for like more of a deck that's like less red line and more like non-linear, Marlin's actually a pretty good option. The only issue with Marlin is obviously like the price point, but I'm not sure if Marionette's all that much better. All right, let's go and give the Oakenald here, I think. I think we're probably just locked into playing the Staunch on Chainlink 2. Depends what they do. Could also just go for Shelter, Coronet Peak, Arsenal Staunch, I think is reasonable. Yeah, let's go ahead and just Shelter this then. We're also not really threatening the gold, so it's not a huge deal. All right, we got them roughly halfway through. So we're doing pretty good on the denying the money front. So they are in some number of deer, so we should expect 2 more sinks somewhere in the deck. I think we've only seen 2, so if we can keep them off of, or keep the reacts in the deck, that would also be very helpful. Right, good hand. Yeah, but Marionette's super interesting. I like Marlin a lot. Obviously, I'm biased, but I think like the deck's not very new player friendly. It feels like to me. I'm trying to think what other. I think like the Slippy Armory deck is probably like a pretty decent place to start. It seems like that deck has some pretty good stuff, like some pretty decent stuff in it. And I think I'm always kind of biased towards like recommending players, like especially newer players, like Armory decks, just because they're like kind of like a package like you can definitely like win games with Armory decks, as opposed to like making your own deck and then it gets like a little bit more suspect. cards. We got 8 Kassai coming. So how many yellows they still got? Okay, so they used all their yellows. That's good. Blood on our hands. All right, mini blood on our hands is fine. Yeah, Marlin is pretty cool. I do hesitate to like recommend the deck though, because again, like the Fable problem is like a pretty real issue. I think the deck is like pretty okay without Fables. It's just like I wish it was better without the Fables, I guess. You know what I mean? Okay. Centauri for 7. So I'm assuming we're getting Go again here from Arsenal. Alright, so let's go ahead and just staunch this. Staunch. You want to hold the Oasis, so I guess we pitch the Midas Touch here. I think that makes the most sense. Alright, they do have the Iron Song, I guess. Which does not work because this is from Arsenal. So, okay. Fine with this. Sting. Let's go ahead and just corner it again. Always keep clicking the button. Yeah, I think Jarl. I'm trying to think what's in the Jarl Armory deck. It's like a pretty like mid-range deck, right? I think the Armory deck for Jarl is like a pretty good starting point. It's pretty like cheap to upgrade that into. I originally had like an Earth build of Jarl up on the channel at some point. I think it was maybe even a stream. It was like a budget Jarl stream. Or yeah, it was like Reef Your Armories on a budget. I think maybe someone can find a link to that. But I think I had that, and that was focused on like an Earth Shell. But they recently banned like Rootbound Carapace, so that makes that deck list a little bit like or substantially worse, I think. So I think like you could actually start. I have to actually check like how bad the Earth build is nowadays because I actually don't know. Like it could actually just be fine to even like still play the Earth cards, but it does feel like probably marginally worse. I guess like how much worse is I guess the real question, right? But yeah, Rootbound like coincidentally kind of did mess with that I guess more earth focused kind of version of Jarl. Yeah, Colby, I think you're right. Like, I feel like a lot of people just like we saw like recently there was like a Jarl deck list. I think this is before the ban. This is from like might have been from the same like I think it was Hong Kong, right? It wasn't Singapore. But we did see like Jarl recently do pretty well with I think the Earth cards. If I go back, let me. Who was it? Let me go find. It's a Jarl. I think it was this one. Yeah, it seemed like this one was doing like more of an earthy thing, but like losing the root bounds feels like pretty rough. So I don't know. It feels like a little bit worse, I think. Alright, pitching raw swords, it seems fine. But yeah, maybe like I do know that they are printing like new earth cards in the new set, like new decompose enablers. So if those cards end up being pretty good, then I can actually see like Earth Jarl making a comeback. It's definitely possible. Alright, so I think we block Eisen plus oh, cranial buffing would actually give go again, so I guess we don't want to do that. Maybe we just block like here, just the cranial. I think that makes more sense. Oh yeah, Kassai and Riches, like that's basically just like unpreventable gold in this matchup. But basically we just want to get them out of like go again sources as much as possible. Like that's kind of like the game plan here. What do we want to put back? I think Crumble's reasonable. Let's just keep peeking though. Again, the way we like kind of end up winning this matchup is we basically run them out of go like the kind of like go again enablers. And then eventually they kind of just like don't have to go again to actually like use the Raisin army. That's kind of like the idea behind Coronet peaking so much, by the way, is just like we're like as you can kind of see here, we're kind of like fatiguing them even without like swinging a Titan's Fist. And if we can like strand D-reacts in their deck, it becomes like a lot harder for them to like use the Raisin army basically. At least that's kind of how Rob I think explained it to me that one time that we did like the joint kind of like testing session. Okay, what do we want to do here? Kind of tempted to just like use ramparts. guess we don't have to though. Let's go and just like pass and see what they do. Assume just some form of Gogan here. Make sure to react from Arsenal so we also don't turn on their don't want to turn on their what is that card called? Flint. I feel like they also don't understand how can't tell if my opponent doesn't understand how Reprise works or if they're just doing this anyways. It could just be they're doing this anyways. But I feel like the Iron Song was weird, right? So they might not know that it doesn't work from Arsenal if you like play a card from Arsenal, right? Again, everyone's learning, so not too big a deal. Let's go. What do we want to do here? So I think we block. How many Everblooms? Okay, so we still have one Everbloom left in the deck. I think I'm fine giving this one. And if they do end up pumping over, we have the sink. Blood follows Blade is interesting, so that means they probably have some follow-up pump here. At least that would make sense to me. Yep, okay, so there's the follow-up pump. Alright, fortunately, we can block this. I think we will. Again, denying the ally is pretty relevant. So let's go and not sink, though. Yeah, we just want to keep them off cards as much as possible here. Alright, let's go ahead and Cornet. Oh, my mouse is also... Okay, I think we got it fixed. Oh, I actually had a question for people in chat. Oh, they're discarding the sink below. It's actually probably pretty smart. Just not keeping the deck. I had a question for people in chat. So I'm not like much of a stream watcher. I guess when I watch like stream VODs more than anything, I typically like don't watch like live streams. I guess like my question for chat is, I guess, what is kind of like the appeal of watching I guess streams versus like live or versus like VODs, I guess like videos, I guess. I'm always kind of curious because like I feel like I'm not much of like a stream watcher, so I'm always just like curious why people like the streams versus like the videos, or if you also like the videos kind of like in addition to the streams. Again, we always kind of like look for like a balance. Like I think we're trying to do like a mix of both, but kind of depends still. Right, we got the trot. All right, another Gogan source out of the way. That's good. How much Gogan do we have left? I know they pitched a couple slice and dices, which I think is good for us. All right, Blood Falls Blades. This is just vanilla damage. Oh, people off like that. That's why you like watching, is because people have like interesting tangents. Okay, that's actually kind of good info. Maybe I'll go on more rants. Okay, so I think this is actually just a pretty clean rampart, and then we block 6 on the next one. Just keep peeking. That makes sense. Oh, they like skip my tunic counter. Oh, maybe it made us go all the way back. That's a shame. All right. Block, pass. I feel like sometimes it like skips triggers for me. I don't know why, or maybe I'm like clicking too fast or something. Anyways. Alright, so our opponent's only on 2 gold, which is also quite nice. We get another 6 block here. Alright, let's go ahead and Cornet Peak. Alright, discarding another 6 is very funny. I mean, I think that's like actually correct if you're like just trying to like keep them out of the deck. Like, I don't actually think that's wrong. As much as like as funny as it is, I think that is like actually maybe the move. Yeah, but if you have an interesting tangent you want me to go on, let me know. I think today my interesting blue sky tangent was about how you shouldn't make AI art. But I guess it's not even that interesting of a tangent. I just think it's kind of crappy. So what threats do we have left? Let's organize. So we have a couple of Blood Follows Blades. Or no, do we have 2 Blood Follows Blades still somewhere left in the deck. We have 1 more Glint. Most of the draw swords are out of the way. Oh, your tangent today. Oh, tell me about your gravy tangent. Curious. I know a lot of people are saying that Gravy kind of got like tickled by the BNR, which I think is mostly accurate. Yeah, I think that yeah, Gravy is like kind of insane still.
For what it's worth, I thought that hero was cooked after the ban, but apparently not.
Yeah, that hero is like still very very good after the ban. Like
I'm happy about this because that's who I'm playing.
yeah. Like you lose the high roll, but like largely the hero is like basically the exact same, or like you can still do like the exact same like ridiculous things.
If anything, it made it so that riches is more required
Yeah, basically, right?
because there's fewer ways to make gold.
All right, we should be able to cover whatever they got going on. Yeah, I think that's like a common complaint about Gravy is just like dumb board state hero. So we can actually sink into a blue. Oh, the Ataya is actually really annoying here. It's not that annoying though.
Very bad board state hero when you, especially if you're packing Crazy Brew.
Oh yeah, that's true. The Crazy Brew actually that makes that hero a lot more difficult, right? Okay, so this is yellow slice and dice, red slice and dice. So it's +2/+3. So 7/7 basically. They are making a gold. That's pretty good. Kind of interesting though. What is the move here? Might be time to actually give up the Coronet Peak. We're getting like pretty close to that point, I think. So maybe we give up like Rampart. These both cost 1. We block 7 on the next thing. And I guess we still have to give up Gauntlets. I guess this still kind of makes sense. Sorry, I did a little bit of thinking there. We actually Fate first, sink the Staunch into a blue. But then the blue doesn't really do much, does it? I guess we don't like me hold on to the CNC then. It's all very awkward. Can I full cover without peak? I think we have the attire, right? Hold on, is there a way to do this? If we sunk into a blue, I think we can full cover without the Coronet Peak. You staunch the first. Sorry, staunch the first one, pitching a blue. Oh yeah, I guess I could. I just have to pitch the CNC. Okay, that's probably actually better. But yeah, we'll commit to it. Yeah, that makes sense. Remembrance is kind of bad. Yeah, I think the way I did it was probably wrong. Yeah, you have to pitch. It's interesting. Yeah, I think there was a way to cover. I think I just like the answer was I have to. It's still awkward though, isn't it? Maybe there is a way to cover that I'm just not seeing. All right, I guess we're committed to this line, which I think is maybe a little bit worse. I guess I get to Arsenal and Staunch, so it's not like that bad. All right, it still works out. A little bit suboptimal, but that's fine. Yeah, we're still at 42 against Kassai, so we're not doing too bad. All right, so I'm kind of hoping. Could definitely like start like pitch stacking the Raisin Army and like the Gogan stuff. It's a little awkward. I mean, if they do go for that, we do have like the Frozen to punish the greens, I guess. Yeah, I think there was definitely a better way to cover there, actually. I need to actually get used to playing against Ataya now that I'm playing D-React, not deck. Alright, so what is this? Oh yeah, hey Rob, what's up? Sorry, I didn't even say hi. Bad streamer.
You don't really look at usernames a whole lot.
No, I knew it was Rob talking.
I said I noticed it was Rob just now.
I think I'm supposed to pass here and see what they do. Because there's no like gold on hit, right? Yeah, Rob, I'm gonna need your coaching going into the RTN season. I think for the most part, I'm playing it right. Like we activated Coronet Peak a great deal, but maybe I didn't have to like give it up just yet. Kind of interesting. All right, let's see what the follow. I don't think our opponent was also fat decking us very much. Maybe it gets a little bit closer if they are fat teching. Hey, Hooten, how's it going?
Rootin' rootin'. What did you say? Root hootin'?
I said Hooten, like the first person.
I think that's root from the Discord.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, is that root? Okay.
I don't know. Press 1 in the chat if it's a root from the Discord.
Yeah. Okay. I think I want to like. What do I want to do here? I also just want to like YOLO staunch this. Like break grains. Is that even good though? I don't even know what's correct here. How many Midas Touch do we have left, actually? Maybe we give up the one Midas Touch and just Frozen to Death them as like a mildly proactive thing to do. And we can just sit on the staunch for a little bit. I think that's fine. Okay. I have a really bad time like connecting like usernames to. I thought you were like a completely separate person from the root on the Discord. I guess like it makes. I actually didn't connect the root and the root. I thought in my mind you were two distinct people. Wait, are you a Patreon also? This is gonna make me feel like, incredibly bad if you're also a Patreon.
No, root's just a Philip enjoyer.
Okay, well you're a Philip. That's even better than a Patreon.
That's worse than a Patreon. On the Discord there, the username is square root of root, technically.
Okay, I see. Yeah, but you are a Philip enjoyer, which is the part that matters more, right?
No one should enjoy Philip.
I love Philip. Philip is my best friend. Okay. Oh no, don't threaten us with the page. No one should actually give us any money in any way.
People keep doing it.
Yeah, people keep doing it, and they're making mistakes. I actually probably should have held the Terrace Under, right? I guess it doesn't really. The Terrace Under is like never connecting here, right? I do want them to use stuff, so blocking is. I'm incentivized to block, I feel like. I don't know. I feel like we're in such a good spot that it might not end up mattering. I guess Raise an Army can always change that. Yeah, I think the Terror. I think it's probably like I don't think we're gonna go for the Terror next turn, but I think that keeping the Terror in the deck is more important than like keeping these cards in the deck. Yeah. Yeah, raise it 2 is pretty easy to deal with. I think they do have 2 of them for what, but like they're almost out of Go again. It feels like. I'm curious how much like Go again they actually have left. All right, let's go ahead and give them. I guess we can do this. Seems fine. They want to provoke me. I think I know they have like a couple provokes left. Okay, guess I called the provoke. So I guess that's fine. But yeah, so they have a trot along, Raise an Army. Let's actually keep track of I guess what they have left. No sinks left. Maybe an Outland Skirmish. No, they used all the Outlands. So it's probably, I think it's like 2 Raise an Army, the Ataya. I think we saw an eye, right? Yeah, 5 gold. 5 gold's when it gets real sketch. They have like I think yellow slice and dice. I think we still have 2 Blood Flawless Blade. Yeah, they're on 12. They're 17 cards to our 20 cards, basically. Yeah, I think we're in an okay spot still. But yeah, I think like I don't know. It's actually nice having you in chat, Rob, because like you can actually point out my misplays. I think I have a hard time like. I think that Ataya turn was weird. I have to like go back and look at that maybe after the recording, but I think there was like a better thing we could have done there. All right, there's Riches, so we go to 3. So it's Riches, Ataya, Raise an Army, Trot Along. 4 cards we know about. This is not making a gold.
Oh my god, it's turn 18 and it's 34 to 40.
I think we're just. Yeah, I'm just gonna Rampart here.
This deck is miserable. I'm having
having a great time.
I know you're having a great time. I was just like, oh, you just started the stream, I guess. And then I looked, I'm like, oh no, actually, you didn't just start the stream.
One thing I will say, especially about like Jarl, is I feel like my macro game plan, like I understand the macro game plan, I think a lot better now. I think it's like the micro, like the turn to turn is where I like lose a lot of value. I think that's just an observation that I think I make is like I think I do a lot better at like the like high level game plan, right? But the like the turn to turn, I feel like get a little bit lost in. Uh, do I even want to do anything here? Not particularly. I don't want to so I don't actually want to get provoked again, which is possible. I guess we won't block this. We could also just staunch so we can arsenal the pulse. Yeah, whatever. We'll just do that. Say a nice healthy 39. Oh, you think just pass? Yeah, that's reasonable. I was thinking about like arsenaling the pulse. Yeah, it's like kind of the same. I guess like leaving the pulse in the deck is like a little bit better though. Alright, so let's do both. Let's get the Everbloom loop online. Fist, Arsenal Pulse. I think they're at a point where they basically are out of like their go tall stuff though. Like me using the staunch there was like, I don't know. I probably actually could have just like Rampart if I want to go like super greed. But maybe that's also a little sketch.
It'd be cool if they didn't concede after you got to the fatigue stage, so you had to hammer them like 40 turns in a row.
Yeah. Okay, they do have a little bit more go tall left. I guess we do have the pulse for that. So we do have to be careful about Raise an Army, I guess. So with so ideally we want to be using Pulse on the first attack, and then we want to hold on to Midas Touch and Tunic, Arsenal Oasis. Yeah, Pulse and Oasis are pretty nice. I've actually been like a pretty big fan, even with Rampart, just of Oasis. I think like Oasis is pretty solid. And so this is a Bloodfall's Blade, which I guess now we can just Pulse. They'll have to pitch something to the Frostbite. And if they go for more, you can always just stuff it with the Oasis. But they should basically be out of Gogan at this point. Like, they don't have a ton of cards left, it feels like. I'm debating if I even want to Oasis this. I guess I do, because they have the gold, right? I think I'm just going to go for the Oasis here. Right Saber. Right, stay at a nice healthy 40. So we do have to be careful about that last provoke. We have one more Bloodfall's Blade. We have the Trot, Ataya, Riches, and I'm trying to remember their exact stack. We have one more Glints. No, we've used all the Glints. What do we have left? One thing that's really annoying, like, this is maybe a problem I also have with, like, Earth Heroes, right? Is that if you separate the Graveyard and the Banish, it becomes really difficult to actually track, like, what's where, basically. Kind of like a hidden buff of, I guess, like, Kassai and Earth Heroes is that, like, you can't, like, just, line them both up and, like, deduce it in paper, right? I think they just pitched the Bloodfall's Blade. I guess I'm not, like, too worried about the Bloodfall's Blade because we still have, like, the Midas Touch. I think it's at the bottom, so we're gonna turn 22 is when we're gonna draw that, I think. I'm also so bad at like remembering my opponent's stack. Alright, let's go for I actually want to just give the Cranial Crush here. Just so we get the attack out of the way. Alright, provoke is fine. Go ahead and give. We could play out a seal off here. I'm just wondering if that's actually good. It's probably fine, right? Because it does stop them from raising an army, which is relevant. Like, it does just, like, get a card out of our... I don't know. We're at, like, such a high card advantage where I don't think it matters. It's, like, whatever, right? Yeah, we probably don't even need to do that, but, like, otherwise we're just sending 3, so it's, like... I don't know. probably like the same. Okay, so they're gonna raise an army, I guess, regardless through this, which is kind of good for me. I guess I feel like oh yeah, it's Jarling time. I feel like in the optimal scenario, actually, here, our opponent should just pass, right? Or just like swing saber pass or something. Yeah, I feel like they shouldn't even be going for. Oh wait, what is going? They're not raising army. Uh, hello? Okay, they. Alright, yeah, we're in uncharted territory here. I guess they'll still give them the cranial crush. I don't think they have any like pumps left, right? It should basically just be the blood falls blade we have to worry about. Okay, we didn't have an ice card, so we couldn't have actually blown up dynamos, but it's still fine. It's like a macho for 8, but like I don't want to use my tunic counter. I think I'm just hammering here, right? It's hammer. Right? New Kassai strat, raise an RE for 0 pog. Oh god, Rob, you're killing me. Oh, yeah, that's very funny. Oh, dude, we want to pitch our footsteps instead? Oh, you want to send footsteps, maybe. I was just thinking, like, keep the cards in the deck, but I don't even think it matters that much at this point, right? Wait, do they have a... Hold on. They have 2 raises... They have a 3rd raise... Did I, like, mistrack a 3rd raise army somewhere? Interesting. Step on him. Footsteps. Yeah, I gotcha. Alright, so we got a Kassai activation still. We still have a player on the Blood Falls blade, so I guess we'll just keep doing this. I think we still do have 1 provoke left. We might have a... Yeah, I think we still have 1 provoke left, right? Have to be a little bit careful, I guess. But they should be raising an army, like, some point here, right? Okay, they have the 3rd one here. So 4 is pretty good, but we are still sitting at 40, and we have the Midas Touch in Arsenal, so not in bad shape. So I think we're saving the block for when they go for sword at this point. Yeah, seems good. Because we want to at least deny the extra gold on hit, although I don't think it really matters too much now. There's a Taya, which is fine. I think we still just gotta worry about that provoke, right? Actually, I think the answer is we no block the sword. I think we no block the sword, right? Because if their last card is provoke, or no, they have to pitch for Centauri anyways, right? So I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, it's coming for 2, so they cannot provoke us from this position, which means we just... I guess we can save the crumble, right? Seems fine. Give them the glacial. They have like no go. I think they have provoke, riches, Ataya. I think there's a trot in here somewhere. Let me check the trot count, actually. They have 1 more trot, I think. But I don't think this kills us, because we're gonna take care of 2 of the cell swords this turn. Wouldn't killing a cell sword with Midas stop? Oh yeah, Midas is actually an action, I think. I think that's what you're getting at, right? Is wouldn't killing a cell sword with Midas stop all the attacks? So I think, yeah, I don't think there's any way out of this for them. Especially since we've seen 3 raise an army. But yeah, I think Midas is not a instant, right? Yeah, you're all good. You're all good. Lots of confusing cards. Actually, I probably should Remembrance first, but whatever. I guess we're committed. Trying to also get in the habit of not undoing a lot, but I think there's correct to Remembrance, just so we have like more cards in deck at this point. All right, so now we're at a point where the gold really doesn't matter, right? More so the Gogan that matters more than anything. All right, so there's the last trot. So it's trot. So the bottom 2 cards are Riches and Ataya. In this case, so we have a hidden run for Gogan. Fine. Is there actually an opportunity to use Rampart here? I don't think so. I guess we'll just go ahead and take the 2 since the gold doesn't matter, right? Now since the gold is basically like a fake resource at this point, since we've seen all 3 raise. Oh, you're a baby Jarl? Just got my heart. Yeah, I also just got my heart semi-recently. I think I got it when it was at like a pretty low point. I'm curious to see if they're actually going to reprint it in the new set. They could definitely, I think. But yeah, I got my heart. I imagine the heart's not going to go down by that much, even if they do reprint it. I feel like Kassai should have waited and made like 10 cell swords. I feel like they definitely maybe had room to do that, but like the downside of that is that like I don't know. It's not like free to do that, right? Because I can just like attack while you like do nothing. Yeah, I'm really hopeful that they'll end up reprinting. Seems like a like clean reprint from my perspective.
Reprint what?
Oh, like heart.
Nah, they shouldn't reprint anything.
All right, Tegan's like anti-reprint.
The game should be very expensive.
Yeah, in Tegan's ideal world, the game is inaccessible and also expensive.
Yeah, makes it better.
All right, so I think since we have the okay, so they pitched the provoke, so I guess we don't have to worry about that anymore. It's hit and run, provoke, 2 fables, and then 2 unknown cards. I don't think we have a third provoke to worry about, right? So we used both of those 2. So I guess we can just go ahead and give them the Thunderquake here, and then just like go a little bit lower, pitch hard, and then kill a cell sword. I don't think they have a real way to punish us for this. They have like another Iron Song potentially. Oh, they have Bloodfall's Blade. Okay, I guess that's my. Oh yeah, I did forget about that. Okay, minor pun. Tegan is a real gatekeeper. Salute. Yeah, thank you. Very funny. Okay, so we made a. I guess we could have like given up the tunic there. Yeah, tunic is value though. We still have like plenty of time to clear these cell swords, right? But I think that's definitely like probably something we could have kept track of. I guess you see if they arsenal this. So we Everbloom both. This is our last Everbloom. Let's take care of that one. All right, the loop has been established. So do they have a go against source? So it's the 2 fable, or it's 2 fables. It's provoke. Hit and run. Is it hit? It's blue hit and run, right? Sorry, it's been a long day at work, so I'm okay. Blue hit and run here. I think they still have one more blue hit and run, right? They didn't use it. So we're taking 2. We're taking 10. It's not too bad. Oh, hey Nito, how's it going? All right, there's the hit and run. So wait, what is this card then? So Ataya. Why can't I think of what this card is? Maybe it's the third hit and run. Maybe that's what that card is. Okay, that's fine still. Let's actually go ahead and give them the Thunderquake. I don't think it really matters much. Oh, our opponent says XX. I don't know what that means. Also, we probably should have used the Remembrance at some point, but whatever. I guess we can like Remembrance back the Mice Touch at some point. All right, we do have to be careful of provoke. We need to hold 2 cards here. Ataya, Riches, Provoke. Oh, well, I know they have the Ataya here, so this is the Riches, this is the Provoke. But what is this card? I think it's a hit and run still. Maybe they just, I think because I've only seen 2 of them, right? I think it's the third blue hit and run, if I had to guess. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to pitch. All right, so this doesn't work, right? They have to do this on a chain link or on a weapon attack. I mean, I don't think it matters here, but like. So I guess now we can. So I think this last card is blue hit and run. All right, so we should be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Remembrance here now. I guess the question is, what do we want to get? Remembrance, let's grab. I guess we can grab one Midas Touch, one. What do we want? Maybe one Everbloom, one Oakenold, or something like that. We even have. Oh yeah, we got the Crumble still. Okay, that's fine. They said, oh no, GG's. I think they might see the writing on the wall. All right, just how we drew it up. This matchup's like kind of fun though. I actually don't mind it very much. It just feels like it's like really interesting how much Coronet Peak like plays a part in this matchup. It just feels like they like run out of cards like so quickly at some point. All right, so we can go ahead and rampart here. So, oh wait, they didn't play the hit and run. I think it's hit and run, right? Has to be. Rampart plus heart, obviously disgusting. So what can we actually buy? I mean, we're still probably just like getting back Everbloom, right? All right, infinite life gain. More infinite life gain. Grab back, I guess. Looks fine. Oh, good luck at your armory, Rob. I assume you're probably playing Valda or something. Have fun. I've been struggling with warriors. I feel like they just outvalue my blocks so often. Yeah, it kind of depends. Like, I think it depends pretty heavily, I guess, on like what the Jarl build is. But I think we're pretty much got the game closed down at this point, right? Oaken, get a turn next turn. Oh, GG's. Oh, whoops. GG's. But yeah, I think our opponent might be a little bit cooked. Oh yeah. That actually surprises me that you haven't been playing as much CC. I guess it makes sense. I feel like it's just been stale, right? I feel like we haven't played like a ton of CC super recently, honestly. I don't really know why I'm even doing the Everbloom moves at this point. I guess it's just kind of BM. Spreading some Christmas BM. How about that? I'm pretty sure it's blue hit and run, right? Last card. Something. Alright, we should start killing them pretty quickly here, though. Yeah. Okay, there's the blue. Gotcha. Alright, we got the Macho. Well, think about it this way, Root. You get to have a 60-minute game, right? It's like the glass half full type of thing. All right, look at that value. Just casual 28 turn game. Not even close. All right, let's see if we can. I'm actually gonna try to see if I can get like more aggro hero because I feel like those games tend to go a little bit more interesting. Yeah, but think about it. You got 60. Oh. Whoa. Uh-oh. All right. My depth perception was terrible, and apparently there's a drink right over there.
With water?
I think it was like tea.
All right, I'm gonna grab some towels.
Okay. Thank you. sorry for the jump scare, chat. I just like knocked over I think like half a thing of iced tea. I also got a second one here. All right, we can't do another Kassai. I refuse.
Positive news is that you don't drink sweetened iced tea.
Yeah.
Here are the towels.
Thank you.
Got it all over the green screen.
Oh no.
It's fine.
I think that'll probably come out.
Yeah, we can just toss it.
All right, who we got? We got an RKO. Okay, this matchup's like kind of interesting. I actually don't know if this is a sledge matchup or just a normal. I feel like it's more sledge, right?
Hit him with the thinking, please bear with me while we cool.
Poison's good in this matchup. Blizzard's good. Ice Touch might just be fine for fatigue purposes.
Are you just gonna like sop it up with that?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'll figure it out. Don't worry.
I'm done helping.
All right, turn 1 crumble.
I'm no longer getting help for
Oh, I forgot to go over the deck list. What am I doing? All right, bad streamer. All right, but yeah, let me go ahead and post the link in chat. We'll talk. It's like pretty stock standard Jarl stuff, like nothing too out of the ordinary.
I'll pin the deck list.
Yeah, you can go ahead and pin it. Yeah, nothing like too crazy. It's kind of like just a normal fatigue shell. I'm kind of just practicing this as like a backup deck for RTNs. Because Marlin is good, but I think she's got some suspect things if like Gravy is top of the meta right now. Okay, what do I want to do here? I want to stay at like a higher life total ideally. So I think prioritizing the life total here makes a bit of sense. Let's actually go ahead and just like sync flow here. Feels weird to give armor this early, but if it does pad the life total with Fiddler's Green, I think that makes sense. Okay, so that's actually really good. Next time a hero would gain life this turn instead of lose as much. Okay, we're gonna be taking 3 off the Fiddler's Green, which is like a little annoying. But it could be worse. That's actually a pretty good poison from them, though. Alright, let's go ahead and go for Sludge. That's actually a pretty sick. That's actually what I'm also trying to do in this matchup. I think I brought in the poisons for that reason. But yeah, that's actually a pretty good way for them to kind of stay at a higher life total. You've been doing Sledge into RKO. I think that makes sense. Like this feels like kind of a Sledge matchup because it's just very grindy. All right, the big bully. I kind of want to just like get their tunic out of the way. Does gauntlets work? I feel like gauntlets doesn't work, right? Because it's an instant. So this gets pumped to. This gets pumped to 12, right? Which is fine, I guess. We like fades. I think it still works out. Let's go ahead and just blow up their tunic this turn, I think. I think getting the tunic out of the way is like pretty important. Remembrance, I think that can get saved for later. So I think this matchup is mostly about just managing the life totals. God, I kind of almost like don't like this hero design all that much because I feel like it's very like snowbally. It feels like very often, like if you're able to get like a life lead, it feels like almost like a non-game. And then if you do, if you like don't get the like the life snowball, it feels like very different. Yeah, I think the gauntlets won't work, right? Okay, so this is coming in for base 5 plus 4, so it's 9. Pretty good. At least we have like the free sludge this turn, which is pretty good. Could theoretically pummel this. It's interesting, I guess. Yeah, I think we're gonna just try to get some sludge value. Alright, a little bit of a suspect start here. God, that poison the well actually did like a ton of work for them, I think. Oh, we actually should have probably sigiled, if we knew they're running poison, we actually probably should have sigiled on their turn, because then that would mean this card has to be poison as opposed to like any of these cards being poison. RKO is like a really weird hero because it's like one of the first heroes I think they've designed where it's like it wants to be ahead. You know what I mean? Like normally you kind of like I feel like the what is it called? The like the more revered heroes, right? Like they like kind of makes sense to have like comeback mechanics, right? But like having a hero that runs like all the generics in the game and then is also just like a like a stay ahead kind of like mechanic hero is like very weird. What do I want to do here? We can take 1, which I think is fine. Just keep sledging. I think sledging is important. I mean, we could also just send E-Strike, which is like more damage value, I guess. This makes sense. Yeah, it's like a win more hero. That's the word I was trying to figure out. Oasis is a little too early. I think we're gonna save that for second cycle, I think. The nice thing, I guess, about RKO is that they are, I think, are still just ending up sledging here anyways, just for card density purposes. Like, that is kind of like the nice part, is even though they do get like the big bullies and the mocking blows turned on, like, we can still kind of fatigue that, I think, right? Especially with Tunic out of the way. Like, you're probably gonna get a lot of equity out of blowing up the Tunic that early. Right, a little bit of an awkward hand. It also means they're like, they have like pummels, they get a lot worse. Let's go ahead and just shelter this, I guess. We could also save the shelter in the deck, but it's not like a strong incentive for doing so. To be fair, we were playing a lot of the very similar cards to RKO. So I guess like we're kind of playing a very similar deck, it feels like. I don't know. Yeah, RKO just feels like this very like weird. I don't know. It feels weird seeing like a brute playing a bunch of generics. Yeah, if Leviathan was like a lot better, that hero would actually be like pretty interesting right now, I think. Yeah, we also have this like weird crumble still stuck in Arsenal. We don't love, but we might actually like take an opportunity here to just like play it out at some point. Like giving them frostbite and also taking 2 off the armor is probably not terrible. This feels a little bit weird in terms of like fatigue value. We could also like IP with the Midas. Hey, that's better. Yeah, let's like IP with the Midas 8 and then crumble. We are going like off a little bit of our fatigue value by not swinging sledge this turn, but I think it wasn't really like a great way to swing sledge anyways. Plus, I think like maybe damn, actually, I don't care about the scab skins as much as I care about the bone picker, I think. Interesting. Yeah, I think that like the crumble. When did we arsenal the crumble? We arsenaled it off the frozen, right? Probably was a trap. But it wasn't bad. Like we basically got our like kind of 3 value ish out of it. All right, let's go ahead and just staunch / shelter this, depending on what they go for. So assuming we're coming in for 12. So, oh, we actually probably should have blocked with the Midas touch, shouldn't we? Yeah, I think that would have been better. Or no, it's still fine. We like shelter and then play the staunch from Arsenal. And we can send sledge, Arsenal, shelter for next. I think this makes sense. We want to make sure we're like using our staunches proactively as opposed to like leaving them in the deck too long. And now at least we get a 1 card sledge, which is nice. Every time you Arsenal crumble, you draw Oakenald. Yeah, that's the Jarl feels bad. Right, 47 to 47, but they still full draw. We're sending 6, so take 2 out of their hand. We're not in terrible shape. The one thing that does concern me is that I feel like normally I do see Kayo also on like all 9 reacts. So that could be a point of concern if they're also running the same number as us, I guess. I'm hoping we're actually able to find our poisons by the time they find their sigils. I think that would be ideal. But yeah, we want to make sure, we want to ideally get to a point where we're trying to turn off their hero ability as much as possible. So we need to keep cards for Sludge here. I think we're going to sink the Oakenold here. Might even double D-react this, depending on what they go for. Assuming they're probably going to go for, like, Pump or whatever. Pump to 10. Shelter. Sink. I think we're going to sink the Oakenold for later. Oh, another Fiddlers, I guess, is not ideal, but we can still just pitch it to Sludge, so it's fine. Alright, need to find that poison, because I imagine they're probably still on sigils in this matchup. Let's make sure we're just getting our Sludge value in. So 46 to 44, 46. So they're like one card up on us right now, which is kind of fine. We just make sure we're like stemming the bleeding here as much as possible. The nice thing is it seems like they're giving us cards every turn. So I'm kind of okay with that. All right, they're going to gain 4 off the back with this. Yeah, that's pretty good. They've got a really good life buffer right now. I guess the nice thing is they are fatiguing slightly faster, right? So we block 6 here because they're basically guaranteed to do this. Alternatively, we can Arsenal Sigil. Depends what this card is, but I think we do play the Sigil preemptively, right? Yeah, I think we want to play the... So we want to make them pump here. Pitch 2 to Sludge, Sigil on their turn. This makes sense. Let's go for the Sigil now, I guess. They have a poison, they got me. But should be probably safe here. From my 10-ish games, or sorry, let me comment. For my 10-ish games in Arco, they tend to have better... Oh, they do have another poison. God damn it. All right. For my 10 games in the Arcade, they tend to have better card equity until they expend all their big boo cards, and then the rest won't rip as many cards for. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm counting on here. Unfortunately, their poison have lined up like super well here. Unlucky, but we'll stick to the course here. We still have our poisons left in the deck for what it's worth, but I don't know. We are fat decking, so we aren't gonna find them as fast. No, their sigils are so much better. I cry. All right, 20-point life lead off the back of Poison the Well. Oh, there's our Poison the Well. All right, we found it. So at least the nice part is we get to sit on this for a bit. They still should have 2 sigils left in the deck, so we should be able to get them back here. I mean, it makes sense, right? It's like Verdant sideboard that they also probably run into us because we're probably running Sigil anyways. I wonder if the meta is actually to board out Sigil into them. That would maybe be actually kind of funny. I think we can still get there, though. Maybe slight cope, but, like, every time they're sending something, they're having to, like, expend a card. So as long as we can, like, play the value game, we might actually be fine here. Yeah, both their poisons, they got, like, 12 value out of their poisons. It's kind of crazy. Pretty disgusting. We do still have the Fiddler's Greens in the deck, that's true. Or we have 1 Fiddler's Green. They'd still have the Fiddler's Greens as well, right? We'll find a time for it. We will make it work. Is this an opportunity for the Flexor? Probably not, right? For what it's worth, I don't think the Coronet Peak is also getting much better in this matchup, but I guess we need to make sure we're not getting CNC'd here. I think we're supposed to take this. No, I feel like we're supposed to give 1 card. If they do have the CNC, then I guess we do have armor block still. But yeah, CNC I guess is like the best case scenario here. Alright, so they do have the CNC. Makes sense. So I guess we just give up the Coronet Peak here. I guess my worry is like if we didn't block there and they send Claw and then the Arsenal CNC, that's like worst case scenario, right? I'd rather them do this actually than like just send Claw Arsenal. It does mean we're going a little bit lower on armor, but I think that's okay. should have time to use this poison the well at some point, right? 34 to 39. So they are fatiguing pretty fast. The issue is if we do get too low, then their booing starts to matter a lot more. I think Skullcap, I really like Skullcap for certain matchups. Oh, this could be Pummel, actually. Oh, if this is Pummel, we're actually kind of toasted, right? I mean, we kind of like have to... God, it's so awkward. I think it is Pummel, right? Kind of like has to be. Block 9 like this and then quick dodge to preserve the card in deck. I guess this is maybe the bull, but then like we're not doing it. If they go for a sigil though, then I guess it's pretty good. Let's do this, I guess. See what they got. I'm imagining this is Pummel, but I feel like this is like the best way we can play around Pummel. We are threatening getting the Quicken token, which I guess is semi-relevant. Not going to go for anything. Okay, they got the Remembrance, sure. I feel like they're still sitting on Pummel. This card I'm imagining is Pummel. At least based on how they represented it. It could also be Sigil or something, but I don't know. Imagining that's still Pummel. Funny thing is they haven't really found a ton of their like Mocking Blows or anything. I guess let's see how well they can convert this card hand. I mean, they have outside interference, so they're probably going to be able to convert it well. Alright, we got the big bully. So this feels like Pummel now. Oh, is there a way like total show or always show deck totals? Let me see. Is there a setting for that? Oh, always undo. Always show counters on. No, is that it? Let me try. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that's it. So we let this resolve. The awkward thing is we like have to play scared of the Pummel now. Well, I kind of hope they go for it now. Okay, so there's... Oh, they have a third poison. Okay, well, I'm glad they pitched that, so let's go for the Sigil now. So we let that resolve. Big bully. So not discarding anything. We are getting hit for a bunch here. Yeah, 3 poison in the well is kind of... I mean, it kind of like makes sense, though, for burdens, right? I guess. Alright, we will find our way to swing double sludge here at some point. I feel like our poison in the wells are so much worse, too, which is kind of hilarious. Alright, we got another Pummel. Fine. I almost want to just let this happen so that we can swing double sludge next turn or sludge into like CNC. And if they have another Pummel here, I accept. This arsenal still could be Pummel. I think we accept the damage here. We're going to take 12, go to 10. I mean, it's awkward. Another Pummel on top? No. Okay. Yeah, getting real awkward here. Alright, so let's... Oh, now I guess I kind of messed up, right? It's still, like, fine. Or no, this is still awkward. I guess now we just send... I guess they can try to go for, like, a Scowling on us, maybe? I don't know, maybe this still actually works out. Because it looks like they might be going for Scowling, and then... Okay, yeah, I guess I, like, unintentionally played around Scowling. It's kind of funny. Alright, we need them one of these days to give us a Sigil. I mean, I feel like we're just, like, super far behind, though. What big threats do we still have one Staunch left. We got a couple little... I guess we have one Sink left, one Fiddlers. Alright, so we need to make sure that we use that Fiddlers before that third poison comes back around. Ideally. Alright, coming in for 10. So you can block 10 and staunch, right? Alright, so I guess that's efficient. Make them do it. Alright, we're doing okay on deck density. It's just the life totals are just so rough. They really poisoned my well here. Do we have an... Alright, we have one more Oasis left, which at least combos with, like, the quick dodge still. There's Shelter. They poisoned my watering hole, yep. True. Alright, Heart's at least on, which is nice. So how do we do this? I think we still want to save quick dodge for the, we want to save quick dodge for the Oasis turn, ideally. And we might not have that luxury. We also have 2 CNCs left. God, it's super awkward. I'm like most worried about the CNC though, right? And I guess we can deal with CNC kind of. I feel like I'm actually supposed to ditch the heart in this case then. Let's try to find something that's blockable. Because we might not be able to swing like Sludge, right? Awkward. So this is coming in for 9 functionally. We do this, so we force them to pump with both cards, and we play out Crumble, just take a scab off. That makes sense. At least the nice part is they have to like double pitch here. Don't get to keep an arsenal. Yeah, we're not doing so hot. Do the... Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was like, why is it prompting me to do it on the... I was thinking it was the 1/1 counter it was prompting. Alright, come on. You gotta run sigils in your deck somewhere, right? Come on, please.
Are you just getting like Omega punished by Cyber?
I'm not even sideboarding wrong, I don't think. I think I basically just got owned by what's the card called? By poison. Like my poisons are just worse than theirs. I think if they have a if they have the pummel there, I think we can't. Alright, come on, Sludge, you can get there. We could also Everbloom plus Remembrance, but I think the Sludge just makes more value. Problem is we're like dying. Like, I don't know actually which one's better. Oh, we get to use their poison. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Fuck you. Yeah, how do you like it? That's right. I didn't think so. All right, we got him back. Thanks. Sorry, that's my salt showing. I'm not actually that salty. Like value, that's right. We still have another poison. I think we pitched the poison somewhere. All right. So what is this? This is the outside interference, probably. I think this is a quick dodge block, right? Quick dodge block. Use the Oasis. Get some value there. Fine. Quick dodge. So we prick the outside, which is nice. But yeah, they're doing the kind of very similar thing to what we're doing. So we want to block E-Strike. Quick dodge Oasis. Oh, the nice part here is at least they're sending swing big. In this case, we flex her as Oasis, do that. We also Arsenal the strike and not block 3, but then we get closer and closer to dying, so that's not great. Yeah, I think the quick dodge here still makes sense. Oh yeah, hey Vitor, tell what's his name? Oh, Navarro. Tell Navarro that like the deck. They did get us really good with the poison wells. Those were kind of nasty.
Hey, your hat's not on.
Oh no, my hat's not on. All right, hold on. Let me like. Or, do I need to like adjust? Maybe I like scooch closer. Sorry, that's my mistake. One option here we actually also had was to like save the quicken and go for like a double sledge. All right, they're gonna go and use the sigil. Makes sense. I've actually felt this matchup was like a bit closer, but I feel like we just kind of got rolled by poison. Block here. Block here. Take 1. Keep sludging it up. Other sigils, so I think we're actually out of... Or no, they still have one more Fiddlers, potentially. So I guess maybe that's where our last poison will line up. I think this is just a case of their poisons lining up a lot better than ours did. Yeah, there's a Fiddler. Wait, do they... Oh, no, they might actually be back around to that other poison. Ooh, that's the problem. Okay. You can block 9 on this. You can block 7 and hold... Okay. And if they go for something else and they pump, then it's bad, obviously. Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably just in, like, Kayo lock at this point, right? Don't poison me, please? Okay, looking for scrap into claw at this point. Oh, it's pretty good. Oh, I think we just die. Or I guess we can block the claw with the tunic, right? They could have pumped there to... So I think we blocked correctly, at least for what it's worth. Got a 4. A little bit rough. Alright, no, I'm getting bullied. And so I think we block 9 here, go to 3, Everbloom, go to 2. I think we're still, like, very cooked here, though. Oh yeah, the pummel will definitely do it. I guess we can gain life in response. It's not over. Or no, yeah, it's not over yet. Still go to 2. We just don't get the Everbloom value. I guess we still have 2 left. Could be worse. I found another poison. Do they have another pummel? Potentially. Oh, this is swing big, right? Alright, well, we can't beat another pummel. Alright, the yellow pummel. Nasty. Alright, they got us good. Yeah, RKO is, like, scary. I don't know if we even necessarily did anything wrong. I think the triple poison just got us pretty good. Give him a good game, though.
Pummel.
Yeah, the yellow pummel.
The more I see of RKO, the less I like.
Yeah, RKO is just like a generic pile. I mean, it's like the same generic pile in the way that we're doing. I guess we're like... It's basically the same deck. It's like the same deck, but they're like better, kind of, at least. Yellow pummel lately, but I've been seeing a lot more yellow pummel actually in RKO. I think it like makes sense as like a weird, like your opponent doesn't expect it, right? See what else they're running. So they have 1 CNC left. They had all their mocking blows still left. Like I don't think we're ever actually winning from that position though, right? Like I think they just had us too early with like the life gain tempo basically, right? Like their life gain was just like better than ours, I think. Is what I think it came down to. All right, but let's go ahead and see if we can get another. Yeah, like RKO is like one of those heroes that just feels like very, very swingy. Like it feels like if they are like behind at any point in the game, it's just like, oh, well, I can't win from this position. But if they're like ahead the entire game, it's like, oh, your opponent can't win from this position. Like it's very weird that also like I don't know if it's like emergent design or if that's how like they intended it to be played, but it does feel like a generic pile, kind of like similar to how Jarl is. I think yellow and blue pummels make a lot of sense to RKO because pummel ends up being a fatigue tool a lot. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think RKO is looking to be like pretty scary in the upcoming like season. I think we have like a decent like plan for him though, with like the 2 poisons and like also just like the staunch and kind of like the fatigue core basically. But, like I think if they just get ahead early, it's very hard for them to like not be ahead basically. Maybe we need to like open them more or something. All right, playing against a Fang. I don't know if I want to go first or second in Fang. I don't think it matters too much. Let's go first and see what happens. Okay, Coronet Peak matchup. Staunches are fine. Blizzard's probably fine. Poison probably not necessary. Midas might just be fine as like a 65th card. Just for a 3 block. I think it seems fine. Alright, we have our own RKO start here, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I mean, seems good. The only awkward here is like we don't have. They're also starting with, I guess, a sigil. The only awkward thing is like we don't have a blue, so that we can just get a couple cards out of them. It looks like they are fat decking. This is good info. So let's go ahead and block 1 on the first chain link, and then they're block 3 on the second one, since CNC. CNC might not be super impactful just yet. But I think we're still supposed to play it. It at least probably forces some armor blocks plus card block. I feel like that is reasonable. Yeah, but I think we just want to try to slow them down here as much as possible. There was also maybe merit to like overblocking and then just coronet peeking. I guess like similar value proposition, like taking a card out of their hand here versus a card out of their hand. Let me make sure my chat's actually not. Okay, I think it should. This is a nice block. We get 3 cards out of them. That is a good trade for us. What do we want to do? So this isn't. I guess it is kind of threatening the field, right? But I think it's maybe better to just do E-Strike into. No, E-Strike Fist isn't even that good, right? It's like fine, I guess. I guess we can just do this and like overpitch the Oasis. Me, that's fine. I kind of want to just like Coronet Peek them. Stay nice and healthy. Yeah, the life gain is cute when I do it, but when my opponents do it, not cute. All right, let's go ahead. Coronet Peek. Why don't I just slow down the fealty train as much as possible here? If we're taking a pitch card out of their hand, I think that's also pretty good for us. All right, Saber's good. The nice part about Saber and Fang is that it's not like guaranteed damage like it is in Assassin at least. I think the plan here is like block 7. Oh, someone in chat said we do cool stuff. We're Ice Hero. Yeah, exactly. It's much cooler than just word stuff, right? Let's go ahead and just use the shelter here. Assuming they don't pump too much. If they overpump, then I guess we go. It's coming in 8. I guess that's a little bit awkward. So the question, I guess, is do we even care about denying the card draw here? Care a little bit. Like maybe we just use flexors here. Actually, this actually seems like an okay flexors. We can stop the early fealty train and prevent them from drawing a card. I think that's reasonable. Then we also get the cover here, coronet, and sit on sync. I think this seems alright. Scar tissue pump here. So now the question is, do we care about them having a random card draw off the top? I think the answer... Well, it does also give a mark. I guess maybe sync below is reasonable here, although I don't love it. Seems fine. It seems clean, at least, that we prevent the PLT plus mark. I kind of want to stay marked as long as possible here, ideally. Right, yellow sync below and pitch. So I think we go for either Oasis or Staunch, depending on what they do here. I feel like it's more likely going to be Oasis. All right, using a PLT is good. Or a Scar Tissue. We can then Staunch here. Pitch the Macho. I've seen actually a decent amount of yellow sync and Fang, just because like there are some like I think they call them like yellow line variants or whatever, where they want to try to like be running a bunch of yellows just to pitch, and then eventually the yellows are like kind of like bad reds in late game. Let's keep going for the peak here. Yeah, we're just trying to slow them down here as much as possible. We're doing all right on at least the fatigue front. The good thing about like Coronet Peak there is also if they're on like, it looks like they're on some number of D-Packs, I think it gets a lot better. Okay, Blizzard plus Oasis plus that. So I kind of actually want to play out like a CLF on our team. Means that we want to maybe consider Rampart here. So we Rampart, pitch the Blizzard. I kind of want to just like jam the CLF just to slow them down a bit. I guess like the CLF is like kind of similar to the Blizzard. Me CLF is actually like a trap on this hand. I think that might be the case. Go ahead and pitch the Blizzard here. Yeah, I feel like we're just like priced into peaking them. At least that's what makes the most amount of sense to me. So we can let them have the mark here, and I think that's fine. If they go for something. But that's also okay. And then we take one or multiple. They're still at 2 fealty, and we've done a pretty good job, I think, of keeping them up. All right, so what does this hand want to do? Have the Rampart plus Oasis plus that. Not marked currently yet, so I think we actually probably should take a little bit of damage here. I think a little bit of damage seems okay. All right, dagger, block E-strike. Oasis even good here. I think we still go for the Rampart here anyways and like try to Arsenal the Oaken as just like a big value. Although it basically just buys armor, right? So like maybe the Oaken is like even a trap. I guess how many Ice Earth have we seen? We've not seen any of our Ice Earth, so I guess it gets a little bit more valuable. Let's actually go ahead and just pay 1 here and then play into Oasis depending on what they do. Okay, there's pass. Sure. So in that case, maybe we still just go for the Coronet Peak. Maybe we actually gave them a little bit too much value there. It's still fine, right? Taking them off the fealty is still like the biggest thing. I found our crumble, unfortunately. Alright, so we're remarked. So now they are at 3 fealty, but they don't have go again, which is nice. So now, what's the plan? Probably still just use Fate. Fate, Everbloom. Not even good though. I feel like the best play here is like maybe just pitch the Fate for later. Because like we can't really use all of our cards in hand, right? So getting like the 1 Rampart value actually might matter. Everbloom, do both. Let's take back E-strike. And then we can either crumble or we can... I feel like Coronet Peak is still Correct. Like just taking out cards out of their hand, I feel like matters so much more. Like putting a -1 on a random piece of. So we have plenty of reacts here. Let's go ahead and maybe Rampart, Fiddlers. I want to just use our Tunic counter here, I think. Yeah, so let's do these two. Pull the Tunic. Then we can follow up with the Sink here. Firm, so they go to 8. They're going to be taking a little bit of damage, but I think that's okay. I almost want like some excuse to get this Oasis out of Arsenal, but I think we'll just stop here. See what their follow-up is on this one. I ideally like to go for the 4 here. If they do nothing, then I guess we'll just Cornet. It seems good. Still staying at a healthy 44. Peak. And I also want to keep as many reacts in their deck as possible. Like I think we've seen like 4 or 5 reacts pitched at this point. So like making them sit on reacts is I guess another way to really slow down the game. All right, let's go for. They've been having some like pretty lackluster turns, so I actually kind of want to just like make sure I'm getting my Rampart value. This is kind of an interesting one though, because it does feel like they're kind of just like sandbagging a little, maybe to play around like fatigue. Let's go ahead and just Oasis this then, because we want to use the one flip. All right, another one. I think I feel okay just giving them Macho here. They go for like a provoke or something. It's okay. All right, Sigil sense. Oh, we should have brought in our Poison the Wells. Damn. Unlucky. 4 here is fine. 49 versus our 45. I feel like we're still supposed to keep Cornet peeking though, right? Just take the 4. Maybe we could have actually taken a little bit of damage there so we get more value out of the Oasis. It's coming in. Now we are a lower Rectal for at least heart purposes. I'm gonna give, I guess, the Glacial here. Tooth. Good. And I guess we can like kind of double block here. We do actually have to be a little bit careful about provoke still though. There might not be like a really good way to play around it though. I think Rampart's not the answer. I feel like it's actually just like block 7. Could also sink into something. Okay, this is not bad. So we can Arsenal the CLF pitch, or I guess we can now block. Did we Rampart already? No, I don't think we did. Okay. I guess they finish on Dagger. This is a little bit lower, but we still get to peak. Okay, seems good. This is definitely one of those matchups that I feel like can get a little bit out of control if you take too much damage. I feel like we're doing a pretty good job staying a bit even. Saver. I don't have a react for Saver, which actually. So he blocks. Not like that. Oh, we won't block. We block with. So we want to save the Terrace Under. I also want to save the Bull, I guess. They block here, they pump. That's fine. They draw a card. Actually, you can give them the Rampart here if we really. Is that worth it? That's a block 8, but then they don't have to like play anything, which is awkward. And then like we're gonna start fatiguing. Yeah, maybe we do just go for the Rampart. I think I'm actually supposed to pay with a card from hand. I want to hold the Tunic. And pump 7. This seems fine. Draw a card here, and then potentially just another Dagger swing. Maybe giving the card to Rampart instead of the Tunic is a little awkward though. Switching the Okay, so they closed chain, which actually means we get to Rampart again here anyway, so I guess it's actually worked out. So that was actually some good value for us. Alright, works for me. So eventually they're going to get to a point where their deck is like mostly D-reacts, and that's the point where I think we're going to start trying to punish a bit more. But for now, I think we're just kind of chilling. Would like to find another react to sit on at some point. Oh, we got time. We have 6 here. We actually haven't seen a provoke. It looks like they're mostly like pretty red lines, so they might not even be on like any blues. For the Drakai pump. So we might actually just give Rampart. I feel like we don't maybe even need to peek them anymore. Or like we can take a turn off peeking. Just make sure we're conserving our life total as much as possible. So go to 32. They're 11, or I guess 11-point life lead. But we're got actually like a decent kind of deck advantage if you consider the Titan's Fist at least. What does this hand want to do? I kind of don't even want to do anything with this hand. I kind of want to just like Arsenal Pulse, Coronet Beak, block. Probably the best strat, right? I think I'm gonna go ahead and just chill here. Okay, Hudson's pretty good. So if they're coming in for 10, does that incentivize me to pulse? And we're still like 6, so it's taking 4, kind of. It's fine. It's fine. Red Battlefront, interesting. Oh, probably just Prism Tech, right? Prism Tech, and I guess also Fatigue Tech. Let's give them the gauntlets here, so it means that they're like a little bit less incentivized to do something. I guess we don't have to give them gauntlets just yet, though. You just chill. Don't want to use something here. I think I'm fine. All right, we do have to be a little bit careful because I think we're starting to get towards the danger zone. 4 here is okay. Yeah, just like that, where you're definitely losing a lot of that life total. That being said, they do have a lot of reacts still left in the deck. Like, we're not actually in that bad of shape. Where did they pitch? They pitched Shelter. Okay. They still got a lot of D-reacts left, which is, I think, a good thing for us. Because eventually they're going to start drawing into that D-react stack, and then we just, like, kind of blow them up from there. This hand needs some help, though. Oh, what does this hand want to do? I think we're... Ugh. Hand's gross. I guess we're just, like... pitch Rampart here. Something like this, I think. Awkward as this is. Pledge, so you're only taking 1 from this. The awkward thing is we're not going to be... not unfortunately going to be Hornet peeking this turn. I guess there's not really a great way to do this. Let's see what they got here. Another Huntsman. Okay, so this is actually kind of okay for us, I think. So go ahead and just bait. Keep that on top. Baiting whether I probably do just use the Shelter Recover too. Again, our goal is to like make their entire deck crap. By virtue of them not having any hack reacts left. And it looks like they've actually not used a single react or a single D-react here. Which I think is good. So we're taking a lot of damage, but I think we got some decent value. Also, let me move the hat because the hat is an eternal struggle, I guess. Obsidian. We actually have a decent excuse to go and just use the Rampart here, so I think I'm okay with that. I guess we can also just use the Tunic here. Yeah, Tunic is actually fun. Play it nice and slow. Up to field T for scar tissue. Okay. So now, how do we follow up? I guess we just go for Shelter on this. And we do need to keep our life total relatively high here. Oh, going for the Battlefront. Okay, fair enough. Right, they have a sigil and a saber. So we can pulse this. Pulse this, take 1, go to 21. Everbloom. Start doing some Everbloom stuff if we want to. I'll go ahead and just go for the pulse here. And we're kind of trying to stick to the win con here. Actually, is Cornet peaking better? I think they're at a point where their deck is like mostly D-reacts though, so I think actually going off the Cornet peak is like kind of fun. So Hunt. I feel like we shouldn't respect this. I feel like you should take the 2 here, right? They could mark us and that would pump it to 4, but I think that's fine. Pump here. I guess we might as well use the gauntlets. How many tooths have they actually used? Where is our tooth dragon? Oh my god. Okay, they've used all their tooths. All pledge fealties, so most of the stuff is going to be a front-loaded pump here. I kind of want to just like find an excuse to use these gauntlets though before we like die. So let's maybe just keep 5 here. It feels like a little ambitious. Okay, they're gonna actually just use that. I mean, we get to hit them with an Okanol now, so I guess it's not even that bad, right? They're maybe just trying to conserve cards here or something. So they must have D-React, which makes sense. I feel like we should be coming back around to their D-React pile, though, pretty soon. We're not already there. And what does this hand want to be? And I think I'm trying to, like, tilt our game plan a little bit more towards just making sure we're fatigued. Catch the crumble. I think it was the intent. That's good. If there are any Fang players in chat, one thing I'm kind of like curious on is like, I feel like I don't see a ton of a tie out of Fang. I don't know if that's like maybe just because they don't want the blues or whatever. I just had a smoke out left. So I feel like we're pretty close to them just being at their D-React stack. So I think I'm actually supposed to start attacking at this point. I'm kind of curious why I don't see like a tie-in Fang, or at least I haven't noticed it. Seems like it might be decent for like these kind of decks, right? There's the twist. Doing the twist. I think it's going much. I want to like try to like hold multiple reacts here. Ooh, Fire and Brimstone, okay. So we're in a little bit of danger. Am I supposed to fate this? I guess the question is like, do they have follow-up here? I feel like I am supposed to fate. Maybe Oasis better. Go for the Oasis here, I guess. On the Fire Vein. Interesting. I'm wondering how wide they're. So how many Hunsons have we actually seen? We just saw. Okay, we've seen 2. We have 1 more Hunson we have to worry about. Right, Glint is fine. Glint is basically like -1 card for us. What else do we have to worry about? We have 1 cut from the same cloth left. Potentially, what reacts do we have? We have 1 more Long Whisker loyalty, maybe like some scar tissue. I feel like we've mostly seen a lot of it. So City and Fire Vein. We want to hold. How many Everblooms have we used? So I guess we could technically use this Everbloom if we want to. I feel like maybe the better play is to just like Rampart here and make something. Seems fine. I want to make them have like 4 reacts here or whatever. Scar tissue. I guess we can fate this cleanly now. Ooh, Blizzard's actually probably not bad for Sling. Right, and then we have another Firebane. I guess we'll give the Gauntlets here in case they want to go 1 wider. Should get the value out of this. Even if we're just getting the 1 value, I think that's fine. We're probably also at the point where we can start giving Coronet Peak. String Blade, sure. So do they have 1 more react, I guess is the question. They got like a really good Fire and Brimstone off. think we're gonna start cashing in the Cornet Peak though, because I think they have a lot of D reacts left. Oh my god. That's basically like the ideal Fire Brimstone turn. Alright, pretty good, pretty good. Alright, we are a little bit in danger. Again, they should basically be out of juice though at this point. We just need to kind of survive. Which Blizzard should hopefully make it a little bit okay too. You can blow up their Frozen if we hold the Blizzard. I think the better play is to just overblock a little bit. We actually probably should have Blizzard. No, Blizzard in response doesn't make sense. I guess we Blizzard now and see what they do. Pitching the Scar Tissue makes sense. They want an additional swing. Why additional? So I guess that means they have to react this, right? They don't? They have a yellow Scar Tissue. I'm gonna try to keep track of actually how many attack reacts they have left. So they have one Blistering Blade, one Scar Tissue that they just pitched. And they have used all Imperial Tents. I guess they have Glints left. Interesting. How many reacts, I guess, do we have left? We have one Fate, no Oasis, no Fiddlers, no Shelter. No, we have one Staunch, I guess. It might actually get us here. I guess it depends like what their draws are. Okay, the Fate's actually really big for us. I think if we find that early, that actually means we can soak up a lot of damage. So let's block here, then give the Tunic here, I think. I guess we probably should. We should actually we give the Crumble block. How many Crumbles do we have left in the deck? I guess we have all of our Crumbles, so this one's I think fine to give, and then we do Rampart. Something like this. So there's the last Blistering. What else do they have left? I think if we just block with E-Strike, it's like pretty safe here though. Like, it looks a little bit silly in terms of like fatigue value, but I think it makes sense. So I think there's still, how many reacts have they actually used? They still have red and yellow sinks, and then we have those like mark reacts, right? I don't know how many of those we saw, but I think we saw like a couple. Then we're just going to keep blocking 4 in the first chain link. The Rampart. Went is free card, basically. And we can give Imposing here. They're still fatiguing, like, mildly, but, like, they're almost out of stuff, it feels like. So we're taking 1 off this. I guess, like, what is their, like, big ticket? Like, how do they deal enough damage to us, I guess is the question. I think we're there, but I'm not 100%. And there's Smoke Out, that's fine. Heart's huge. So we give Thunderquake, we give this. Get our heart value. And we're sitting on the Fate just so in case they have anything we can cover it, but we're gonna try to like lean into overblocking a little bit. Give them 1 Crumble, I think is fine. Again, they do still have to like do things every turn. So we're giving them like 2 cards, but like we still have our Remembrance left in the deck, we still have Heart. And we still have some Everblooms left. They have Shelters. Like, I think they're basically out of steam at this point. Like, us sitting on the Fate, I think is pretty big for us. So this is a good Rampart turn. Yeah, seems like a good Rampart turn. We just have so much fatigue value. I find it hard to imagine that they can get us from here. They could, definitely. They'd have to... I'm trying to think of, like, what they would actually have to have. Yeah, I think... Okay, so they have 2... Okay, so let's actually take a look at their deck. So they conceded. They have 1 Sink in Arsenal. They have the Hunt, the Oath. And then they have basically 1 React left in their... Okay, so we basically did that, yeah, basically perfectly, right? So we had that one yellow Scar Tissue, which I think I made note of. But other than that, it was basically like entirely D reacts, which is like that's basically like the point of coordinate picking, right? Is like against a lot of these decks that are just running like a pretty high D react density, and they rely on like keeping tempo pretty hard. So like that's like Marionette, it's like Fang, it's Kassai. Like they all kind of like play very similarly in that they're running if they're like probably like fatigue boarding, basically they're running some number reacts. So like cornet peaking is like forcing action from them, like they have to be on the offensive to kill us, and then eventually we kind of just get there just based on like that. Eventually they're gonna just like draw bricks and like can't do anything basically. But yeah, I think that was actually probably a good one to end on. So I guess a lot of warrior games. Let's actually so so I think I forgot to do the deck tech like the past 3 games. So let's go ahead and do the deck tech. So this is very similar to Rob's list. Again, nothing like too revolutionary here. Also doing the deck tech at the end of the video is hilarious. But yeah, basically it's very similar to Rob's, like one of Rob's old lists. So I think the only difference between that list and this list is that I do like Oasis in the main deck. I actually might go up on the Oasis, seeing that there was this other Jarl list that I think was doing quite well with, which was on like triple Oasis or something. So that's kind of intriguing to me. Let me actually find that. That was from this person. Let's see. So this person was actually on like triple Oasis plus a Steadfast, which is actually very interesting. I'm actually play this just on the side and see how this goes, because I think this is like pretty similar to the blue gravekeeping feels a little weird to me. But other than that, it seems like pretty stock standard for the most part. Like seems pretty good. But yeah, this is like a kind of like adaptation of Rob's list. Rob's at Army right now, so he's not here to talk about it. But yeah, pretty similar. I'm just trying to adapt the list to kind of like the new meta, because I think that old list was basically like pre-BNR. So I think like not a ton of huge changes. I think I want to try to make room for like one Blizzard, because there are a lot of like redline decks basically around. And then I also want to try to make room for like 2 Staunch, because I think that like especially like Kayo and to a lesser extent Marionette, I think you can also run this into. But like those are the 2 decks that I'm like Kayo, Marionette, Gravy, I guess Archaeo to some extent. Like those are probably like the 3 decks, or like the 4 or 5 decks. I guess like Dio is like pretty easy to beat. What's the other like predominant aggro deck right now? It's like Dio, Kayo, Archaeo. I guess maybe like Kassai, or just to a lesser extent. Like there are a lot of like just like aggro kind of like mid-range decks that I think are gonna do pretty well, at least like post BNR. So this deck is kind of like to try to target that basically. And again, fairly similar, like Fatigue Shell, like the game plan is largely the same. It's more so just like kind of tweaking the values here. Running a no block in Fatigue feels bad, but yeah, Blizzard is so strong. So yeah, that's the idea. It's not like a multiple Blizzard. It's you gotta like think about this more as like a it's kind of like Coronet Peak on a stick, if you think about it. That like you're paying a card to Coronet Peak your opponent at like reaction speed, which is kind of cool. So I like it as a one of, even though it is like a fatigue deck. I like it in like KO, and I like it into like some of the more like Gog and aggro decks. Like it's pretty good into Fang, pretty decent into like, I don't think it's like great in a Marionette, but it's like probably fine or like playable. Trying to think of some other heroes I'd probably play it into. Dio, for instance, like it's mostly just like a tool to like slow down the game, because eventually like if we get to the fatigue end state, we'll probably like win it. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. I think I might tweak this list, because I'm actually kind of the triple Oasis plus Steadfast is actually kind of appealing to me, so I might try that out. But yeah, I think we're gonna probably wrap it up today. So again, we did the deck tech at the end. Thank y'all for I guess bearing with me if you were just here for the deck tech. But yeah, I will. I think we're probably gonna put out a Marlin video on Wednesday. But yeah, for the Marlin enjoyers out there, we're still doing some content for that. But yeah, anyways, thank y'all for watching. And we will see y'all next time. And if you have anything you want me to try, let me know in the YouTube comments, or I guess in the chat as well. But yeah, let me make sure I didn't miss anything in chat, but I'll probably gonna go eat some dinner. Hope you also enjoyed the Christmas griefing as well. All right, I think I'm probably gonna wrap it up there. All right, see y'all next time. Well, I think next time we're gonna have like a pretty special Marlin video, so y'all should probably enjoy that. But yeah, anyways, thank y'all, and I'll see y'all